This episode of Android Authority is brought to you by Domain.com. Well, we got good news about the Galaxy A3, A5, and A7, but perhaps most importantly is the news that OnePlus will be permanently ditching their invite system. I know, geeks be like. The original Galaxy A devices marked a departure from Samsung's usual focus on plastic by featuring metallic unibodies. Now the Galaxy A 2016 series continues on the same path as with the Galaxy 6 inspired design, featuring aluminum frames and glass backs. But the Galaxy A5 and A7 2016 take more than design cues from the flagship Galaxy. The two devices include functionality that just a couple years ago were reserved for the rarefied elite of the ecosystem. Cameras with optical image stabilization, fingerprint sensors, and Samsung Pay integration. Only the A5, a 5.2-inch Full HD, and the A7, 5.5-inch Full HD offer these perks. The smallest member of the family, the 4.7 A3, is less endowed, but its specs are still pretty decent. This confirms reports from last month about the migration of certain features down Samsung's mid and entry-level range. All three Galaxy A 2016 devices feature AMOLED displays, 13-megapixel rear cameras with double tap to launch, and 5-megapixel front-facing cameras, LTE, microSD card support, and Android 5.1. The A7 features an octa-core processor clocked at 1.6 GHz, paired with 3 GB of RAM. The A5 comes with the same processor, but just 2 GB of RAM, while the humble A3 features 1.5 GHz of quad-core processor and just 1.5 GB of RAM. All three devices will become available in China this month, and for the rest of the world, early next year. Now, although it is true that OnePlus will be ditching the invite program permanently, they do have an exchange program for Indians. OnePlus has started an exchange program for prospective owners of the OnePlus One, OnePlus 2, and OnePlus X smartphones in India. To qualify for the exchange program, the user has to register their old smartphone on OnePlus's website, or the Red Globe dedicated page. Note that not all devices are exchangeable. From there, they can decide on which method to use to get a new phone. The buy first, sell later method involves users selecting a smartphone online. Red Globe will then send the user an invite code for the device and set up a pickup service to retrieve the old handset once the invite code has been used. After using the invite code, the user will be sent a page where they can redeem insurance for the service and apply to receive an Amazon gift card in the amount of their old phone's worth. For my Indian brothers out there, I'd love to hear from you if you used this exchange program. How did it work? Was it smooth? Was it worthwhile? Let me know on Twitter. Love to hear it. Well, it's been a big year of shakeups for Samsung's management, and I want to warn you here that I'm doing my best with the pronunciations, but for my Korean fans, please forgive me if I butcher them. Here we go. Samsung has announced that its head of mobile communications, Shin Jung-kyun, and another co-chief executive officer, BK Yoon, will be stepping back from day-to-day operations. Kyun, a 9-year veteran at the company, will be replaced by Ko Dong-jin, who was involved with the launch of the Galaxy S6 and Note 5. The announcement comes after another questionable year for Samsung's mobile division. Samsung saw a 38% drop in its mobile profits for the launch quarter of the Galaxy S6, as more expensive components and excess unsold stock drove up the division's cost. Samsung's latest management reconfiguration is the latest in a string of shakeups in the past 12 months, which also saw 3 marketing executives resign last year. Perhaps, we hope, these changes will lead to better fortunes in the coming year. Good news for you HTC fans out there, it looks like they're coming out with a smartwatch early 2016. Evan Blass, aka EVLeaks, has tweeted that the HTC One watch is coming in February 2016. Since that's the same time around the Mobile World Congress 2016, there is a high probability that HTC's first smartwatch will be announced then. Rumors suggest that the HTC One would feature a circular display with a resolution of 360 by 360. The upcoming gadget is said to be codenamed Half-Beak. Of course, none of this can be confirmed just yet. And this week's t-shirt is awarded to Gokul on Twitter, who came up with a very creative domain name, DudeWhere'sMyDroid.com. Love it. Now, why is that? Because no domain name extension tells your story with the same degree of trust as a .com or .net domain name. .com and .net domain name extensions inject credibility into your online presence. Save 15% on domain names and web hosting when you use our coupon code ANDROID at domain.com checkout. When you think domain names, think domain.com. Thanks for watching Android Army. My name is Jace. Love to connect with you right here on Google Plus or Twitter, right there. I wanted to give a shout out to someone I just met today, a viewer I happened to meet at a meeting named Gary. Keep watching, Gary. It was good to meet you in person. You also don't want to forget about my brothers and sister and Android who are working super hard to be your source for all things Android.